สวัสดีค่ะทุกคนยินดีต้อนรับสู่ช่องกีอิลสึนะคะแล้ววันนี้เราอยู่ในเกมที่มีชื่อว่า Harry Potter Hogwarts ไม่ใช่ Harry Potter Magic Awaken นั่นเองแล้วก็วันนี้จะไปทำเควสนักเรียนใหม่เข้าเรียนเราไปหาอาจารย์ศาสตราจารย์แมกกอนาเกลกันคนขยันจะมีที่ในฮอกวอตส์เสมอพยายามเรียนรู้สิ่งใหม่ในทุกๆวัน
Well done! Your performance thus far has been excellent. I must say you've exceeded my expectations.
Thank you, Professor.
However, that does not mean you should become complacent. Your education is only just beginning. To truly succeed at Hogwarts, you must be willing to challenge yourself.
I'll do my best, Professor.
อันนี้น่าจะเป็นแกลเลอรี่ที่เราได้ทำภารกิจหลักผ่านมาแล้วนะก็จะมีเสื้อคลุมมีไม้มีนกเข้าร่วมพิธีแล้วก็เรียนคาถาไปต่อสู้ในปราสาทแล้วก็ไปเผชิญหน้ากับความท้าทายที่เขาบอกนะมีหน้าต่อไปด้วยหน้าต่อไปแตะดูภารกิจเนื้อเรื่องกลุ่มของลอตตี้ไปตามหาลอตตี้ที่ห้องโถงมีภารกิจเนื้อเรื่องแล้วก็ภารกิจรายวันรายละเอียดกติกาสามารถดูได้ที่นี่หรอต่อไปก็จะเป็นขอโทษด้วยฉันมีธุระอื่นต้องทำแล้วเจอกันนะ
You're starting an art club, Lottie?
I'm trying to, but so far the response has been less than enthusiastic. Some seem interested in picking up a brush, but the second I mention researching the Hogwarts portraits, their eyes always glaze over.
You just have to show them how interesting it can be. Know of any portraits with tragic backstories, depictions of unsung heroes?
Come to think of it, yes. If you're not too busy, could I take you on the rounds to get your feedback on a few options? I'm quickly realizing that my idea of interesting is very different from most.
Of course, Lottie. Anything to help get your art club off the ground. Let me drop off my books and I'll meet back up with you.
แล้วก็เราก็ว้ามาหาลอตตี้ที่ระเบียงทางเดินปราสาทเพื่อคุยกับลอตตี้แล้ว
Oh, you're here. What do you think of this painting?
I think... Well, if I'm being frank, I think it's quite soppy. Sorry.
มันขอโทษใครเนี่ยแล้วก็บายบายใครเนี่ย
I could see how you'd feel that way at first glance, but why don't you take a closer look?
Are there two wands in her hand?
Yes, good catch. This is a portrait of Etheldreda Bloodworth, who discovered that her fiancé was pursuing the dark arts in order to get revenge against the Muggles who killed his mother in the witch hunts. It depicts the moment immediately after she was forced to raise her wand against him.
I can't imagine how conflicted poor Etheldreda must have felt. It's no wonder she looks so upset.
I've always said that we can learn a lot about the past, present, and even the future from portraits if we're willing to listen.
Well said, young witch. It has been quite some time since a student took such interest in us portraits. Not since that Simon Talmadge lad, I believe.
Simon? Did you say Simon? Gosma, you know who Lady Etheldreda's talking about?
Oh, yes, we're the best of friends. Or rather, we were 183 years ago. Oh, for some reason, everyone tends to suddenly remember stuff they have to do when I come around. But not Simon. We talk and play for hours. I even showed him my third favorite hiding spot. The one hidden behind the painting of...
Wait a moment. Did you say there's a secret room behind a painting?
Not just a room, a whole corridor full of them.
That sounds perfect for your art club, Lottie. If you tell people that you meet in a secret clubhouse, everyone's going to want to join. Gossamer, where exactly is this hiding spot of yours?
I'll show you. Come.
You know, I often see you and your two friends together. You remind me of another trio. I watched them grow as they passed by this very corridor.
Huh?
พวกเขาเป็นใครหรอ
Oh, they're three brave children. Their adventures were very thrilling.
เราก็ต้องตามกอสซัมเมอร์ไปจนเจอที่ซ่อนเหรอ ไปยังไงเนี่ยหรือว่ากดว่าไปเหรออ๋อเดินตามเส้นนี้ไป เดี๋ยวเราจะต้องเดินตามเส้นนี้ไปเรื่อยๆจนเจอกอสซัมเมอร์เจอแล้วไงนี่ไง อยู่ในรูปภาพนี้
This is it! Behind this painting is a corridor full of rooms, each grander than the last. Though it seems different from what I remembered.
This is exactly what I need to drum up interest in my art club, Gosma. So, how do we get in?
Sorry, I just can't shake the feeling that something's missing from this painting. Now, what did you say again?
I asked how we get the painting to open up.
Oh, that. Haven't a clue.
How do you not know? It's your third favorite hiding spot, isn't it?
Yes, but it's not as if I've actually had to use the door, being a portrait and all. Though I do vaguely recall Simon placing an enchantment on the portrait to keep telltales out.
I wonder if you have to say a password or perform some sort of action to enter, like you do to get into the house common rooms.
Why don't we ask the nearby portraits if they remember anything? If Simon's as memorable as Etheldrada made him seem, it's possible we could pick up a clue or two.
ภาพเหมือนที่ชอบวิพากษ์วิจารณ์ให้เราคุยกับภาพเหมือนเหรอ
Simon Talmadge? I always thought the boy was a bit off. Once I caught him staring at the painting you're talking about. He kept mumbling the Hogwarts school motto, Draco Dormiens Nunquam Titilandus, over and over to himself. I thought he had gone mad. I cannot say I was surprised when I heard what had happened to him.
What do you mean, what had happened to him?
Oh, excuse me. I think I hear someone calling my name.
เราว่ามันต้องเป็นคำใบ้แน่เลยเราต้องจำไว้ให้ดี
Simon Talmadge. Now there's a name I haven't heard in ages. Poor lad had such a hard time fitting in, and the other kids bullied him for it. Got so desperate for someone to confide in that he made friends with us. Of course, being seen talking to portraits only made him an even bigger target.
He was so excited to turn it into his own private art studio. But Gwydion...
Gwydion Idris. Scamp if I ever saw one. Always did the opposite of what he was told. Always managed to rope Simon into doing the same too. He was real charismatic that way.
Yes! Simon Talmadge and his friends came here often. A rather eclectic lot, if my memory serves. It's my understanding that they commandeered the hidden space behind the painting for their clubhouse.
Do you have any idea how they were able to get in?
The only thing I can recall is that the sleeping dragon in the painting would snort flame every time they entered, as if laughing.
Oh, that's right! There was a sleeping dragon in this painting before. Simon added it to this otherwise boring old landscape. I can't believe I forgot.
So we know that this painting used to be a landscape before Simon added a sleeping dragon onto it, that the dragon would laugh before the door opened, that Simon had a notoriously rebellious friend, and that he was overheard mumbling Draco Dormiens Nunquam Titilandus while viewing the painting. Everything seems to point to the dragon being the key to getting inside, but where could it be?
Perhaps it's been hidden. Let's take a closer look.
วาดโครงร่างของมังกรไฟโดยลากเส้นเพียงครั้งเดียวกันเถอะให้เราลากเส้นเนาะโอเคได้เลยมา ขอโทษทีไอวาดครั้งเดียวแบบนี้
The sleeping dragon dragons back.
But unfortunately, the passageway's still locked. What do you think we should do next?
ทำไงดีอะไซมอนชอบท่องคำขวัญฮอกวอตส์อยู่นะ ในรูปภาพบอกแล้วก็ห้ามไม่ให้แย่มังกรหลับ ไม่ให้แย่มังกรขนาดหลับหรอท่องคำขวัญฮอกวอตส์
One of the portraits reported hearing Simon repeat Draco Dormins Numquan Titalandus over and over. Sounds an awful lot like a password, doesn't it? Draco Dormiens Numquan Titalandus. Draco Dormiens Numquan Titalandus. Draco Dormiens Numquan Titalandus.
Maybe you're not saying it right. Oh, the sleeping dragon's back.
But unfortunately, the passageway's still locked. What do you think we should do next?
If I had to guess, I'd say we probably need to wake the dragon up. Gossamer, want to give it a go?
Oh, why me? Is it because I have the sort of cheery, upbeat voice that people love to hear first thing in the morning? Rise and shine, you overgrown lizard! You've got sheep to pillage and villages to burn to the ground! Maybe I should just slay the dragon instead. I am a knight, after all, and it is our duty to rid the world of foul beasts.
เหลืออันสุดท้ายแย่มังกร
Draco Dormiens Numquan Titalandus translates to never tickle a sleeping dragon. Knowing that Simon deliberately chose to paint a sleeping dragon, and that he had a rebellious streak, I think the key to opening the door is to do the exact opposite of what the motto advises. In other words, we need to tickle the dragon.
It worked! You're so clever.
Agreed. Nice thinking.
Well, what are you waiting for? Let's go in! It's empty? Well, that can't be! Last time I was here, it was full of Simon's paintings, Gwydion's experiments, Jessamine's half-dressed mannequins, Nemesine's photographs.
I'm so sorry, Gossamer, but it has been almost 200 years since you last saw them, hasn't it? A lot can change in that amount of time.
You don't understand! This place was never supposed to change!
If you don't mind me asking, what exactly was this place?
It was our clubhouse. No, not just that. It was our place, where no one would bother or bully us. We could do whatever...
So it was a safe space?
Actually, now that I think about it, that's exactly what Gwydion called it when he pitched the idea to Simon. A safe space for anyone who doesn't belong. Originally, it was just for me, him, and Simon. But over the years, we recruited more and more people.
No wonder this place means so much to you. It was somewhere you could truly be yourself.
I never really thought about it like that, but yes. Yes, I suppose it was, wasn't it? It was supposed to be here for anyone who needed it, long after we were gone. I suppose that's why it's so sad to see it empty like this. I never even got to say goodbye to everyone.
Poor Gossamer. I wish there was something we could do to cheer him up.
What if we clean the place up? It won't bring his friends back, but it might be easier for Gossamer to cope if the space doesn't look so abandoned.
What's this?
That's a great idea. Let's do it now so we can surprise Gossamer when he gets back.
Ah.
What's this?
We noticed how upset seeing this place run down was making you, so we tidied it up.
It's not much, but we hope it cheers you up a bit.
It does. Thank you, you two.
You know, Gossamer, I've been thinking. Instead of dwelling on the past, why don't you start looking ahead to the future? Why not carry on where you left off and help a new generation of Hogwarts students create a place where they can be themselves?
You mean get this place up and running again? That's a brilliant idea! I'm going to try my best to make it an even more welcoming place than before. But I'm probably going to need your help, if you don't mind.
Of course we don't mind, Gossamer. It sounds fun.
Well, I mind.
Simon? You're a ghost? And you look as you did when I last saw you. But wait, wouldn't that mean... How? Why? What happened to you?
I don't want to talk about it. And I don't want you here. Any of you. Leave.
I don't understand. Is this some sort of joke? Did I do something wrong? Are you mad at me?
No, it's not. Things change. People change.
Maybe we should just go. We can always find somewhere else to...
No! This place was Gwydion's dream, not somewhere else. Here! Don't you remember, Simon? Don't you still want to see his dream through?
Look around you, Gossamer. Everyone and everything is gone. This place has long been forgotten. Gwydion's dream is dead.
It is not. Not as long as we're still here to see it through.
It probably will be hard work, but Gossamer's our friend. We'll do whatever it takes to help him achieve his goal.
Simon, are you really prepared to just abandon Gwydion's dream like this?
Do what you want, but leave me out of it.
The Simon I knew was never so cynical. He'd never just give up like that. What happened to him after I was sealed away?
Like this secret clubhouse, time seems to have done a number on him.
Don't worry, Gossamer. Once we start fixing this place up, he'll come round.
I hope so.
พอคิดว่าห้องชมรมและความฝันได้มีชีวิตคืนมาอีกครั้งตลอดช่วงเวลาคอสซ่าหวังเป็นอย่างยิ่งว่าคุณจะได้เห็นสิ่งนี้กรีเดียนสวัสดี อย่าย่องเข้ามาใกล้คอสซ่าแบบนั้นสิขอโทษนะฉันไม่ได้ตั้งใจจะทำให้เธอกลัวแค่อยากรู้ว่ามีอะไรที่เธอต้องการหรือเปล่านะไม่แต่คอสซ่ารู้ว่าถ้าจะบูรณะห้องชมรมนี้คุณต้องใช้อะไรเฟอร์นิเจอร์อะไรล่ะโชคดีที่คอสซ่ารู้ว่าจะหาได้ที่ไหนและพร้อมที่จะช่วยคอสซ่าจะออกไปรวบรวมเฟอร์นิเจอร์และสินค้าที่คุณใช้ตกแต่งห้องชมรมได้คุณมีหน้าที่แค่เปย์เท่านั้นสิ่งที่คอสซ่าจะนำมาให้ประหลาดใจเลยเยี่ยมไปเลยถ้าจำเป็นฉันจะติดต่อเธอนะแค่จุดไฟไว้แล้วคอสซ่าจะรู้ว่าต้องแวะมาและยังพบกับคอสซ่าได้รอบๆปราสาทตอนที่ออกเยี่ยมเยียนนักเรียนคนอื่นๆคอสซ่าเฝ้ารอที่จะได้ร่วมงานกับคุณนะคอสซ่าได้เตรียมของขวัญสำหรับน้ำผึ้ง 100% แล้วนี่คือเฟอร์นิเจอร์ของบ้านแต่ละหลังที่มาจากคอลเลกชันของคอสซ่าน้ำผึ้ง 100% สามารถเลือก1อย่างจากบ้านของตัวเองหรือบ้านอื่นๆคอสซ่าแน่ใจว่า 100% ต้องชอบแน่ๆ
There you are. You know how I've been brainstorming ways to cheer up Simon in the hopes that he'll open up to me? Well, I've come up with a brilliant plan that's sure to get through to him.
Am I missing something, or is this just an empty wall?
The wall's empty now, but it used to be where Simon hung up his favorite and most prized paintings. I'm not sure what happened to all of them, but some have got to still be here at Hogwarts. If I track those down and hang them back up, I'm sure it'd mean a lot to him. Do you think you two could help me find Simon's missing paintings and bring them back here? I'd do it myself, but being a portrait makes that challenging, to say the least.
Of course, Gossamer. That's what friends are for. Besides, I've admittedly gotten rather invested in Simon's story. So, where should we start?
Simon had a lot of favorites. A portrait of former Minister of Magic Josephina Flint standing on her head, a painting of a unicorn grazing in the forest, a tapestry of a noble dragon slaying a corrupt knight. But I think we should start with the inflated girl portrait he painted in his 3rd year. He always seemed particularly fond of it. To tell you the truth, I found it a bit odd and couldn't understand why Simon favored it when he painted much more beautiful portraits. But if any of his paintings are going to knock him out of his funk, it's that one. I know I've seen it around the castle somewhere recently. I just can't remember where exactly.
Why don't we ask some of the other portraits? They were a big help to us before, and a peculiar portrait like that one is bound to be memorable.
ตามหาเบาะแสรูปภาพหรอ
It's possible one of these portraits knows something about the inflated girl painting. Let's ask around.
ภาพเหมือนโจรสลัดภาพเหมือนที่ชอบวิพากษ์วิจารณ์เราถามภาพเหมือนที่ชอบวิพากษ์วิจารณ์ก่อน
An inflated girl? Are you talking about that unnerving portrait in the entrance hall? From what I hear, she's been making the other portraits quite uncomfortable. You'd be doing everyone a favor by moving her to a more suitable location.
I do believe I saw the caretaker transporting a portrait matching that description not too long ago. I couldn't tell you where he was taking it, but he seemed oddly smitten with it. He kept talking about moving it to a place where it would get the attention and appreciation it deserved. That man really ought to get out more.
A portrait of an inflated girl. Yes, I do recall such a painting, and the young girl who inspired it. If my memory serves, she was a Gryffindor with a particularly sharp tongue, a weapon she frequently used against poor Simon. Normally, he just grinned and bore the bullying, but on that day, a boy stepped in and gave her a taste of her own potion. Simon stopped coming around as often after that day. I dare say he seemed quite taken with that other boy.
Yes, I know the portrait you're talking about. A disturbing product of a disturbed mind.
You take that back! Simon's not disturbed. He's the nicest boy I've ever met.
You're in denial. To those of us with unclouded eyes, it came as no surprise that he turned out to be a bad egg.
If that gossipy portrait's information is correct, the portrait of an inflated girl should be on display in the entrance hall.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go.
The inflated girl portrait has to be here somewhere. Let's look around the room and see if we can find it. Gossamer, is that the inflated girl portrait?
Yes, that's the one! I can't believe you found her. Simon is going to be so happy to have her back.
It's such an uncomfortable image. No wonder it's so polarizing.
Do you think Simon painted this portrait to celebrate the time his bully finally got what she deserved?
No way! Simon didn't like bullies, but he wasn't mean-spirited. More than anything, he just wanted to be left alone.
I agree. I get the feeling that his motivations weren't so petty. There's no rage or malice behind the brushstrokes.
Now come on, let's get the inflated girl off that wall and back where she belongs. I can't wait to see the look on Simon's face when he sees our surprise.
ติดภาพแขวนผนังแขวนภาพเหมือนไว้บนฝาผนังกดตรงไหนนะ อ๋อนี่ไงกดที่เฟอร์นิเจอร์แล้วก็เลือกภาพที่เราได้มาติดผนังภาพหญิงสาวที่ขยายใหญ่ชื่อภาพได้แล้วใช่ไหมเรียบร้อยนะ
Almost got it. Just a little to the left. There. That's perfect.
Where did you find that?
The entrance hall. This wall was looking a little bare, and I know how much this portrait means to you. So we thought we'd surprise you with it. What do you think?
I think I told you to leave me alone.
Wait, before you go, I just want you to know that I think your portrait is beautiful.
You do? Most people find it disturbing or unnerving. Only one other person has ever called it beautiful.
I really do. It's harrowing yet deeply personal and sentimental. I'd love to hear the full story behind it.
Since you insist. I can't remember what I did to incur Mabel's wrath that day, but she had it out for me. She was just about to cast the pimple jinx on me when Gwydion, a boy in the year above me who had witnessed everything, cut her off with the inflating charm. I'll never forget what Gwydion said afterward. There. Now your appearance matches your ego. I was speechless. No one had stood up for me like that before. Gwydion got detention, and I got a best friend. No. More than a best friend. A knight in not-so-shining armor. I painted this portrait that same day so I'd never forget his gesture.
I remember you telling me the story of how you and Gwydion met, but I had no idea that's where the idea for the portrait came from. You and Gwydion became inseparable after that. What happened to him? Did you ever confess?
Gwydion. Gwydion's moved on. I still suggest you do the same.
I don't understand. Simon used to tell me everything.
I know it must be frustrating and painful, but look on the bright side, Gossamer. Your plan worked.
That's right. The inflated girl portrait did seem to lift Simon's spirits and get him to open up, if only a little bit.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I shouldn't see this as a loss. I should see this as proof we're on the right track.
Then why not make finding furniture our next step in restoring this place to its former glory? It'll certainly make the place feel less empty.
Good idea. I'm not sure where all the old stuff ended up, but an old friend of mine might. Give me some time to find her. If she's still at Hogwarts, I'll let you two know straight away. Good news! Remember the old friend I mentioned earlier? The one who knows where the old furniture might be? Well, I've found her. She's still working in the kitchens and thinks she might be able to help us.
The kitchens? Is your friend a house elf?
That's right. Probably one of the best you'll ever meet, too. She's expecting us in the kitchens. I've already told Lottie to meet us there. Now, come on, let's go.
เดี๋ยวเราต้องไปหาเฟอร์นิเจอร์ที่หายไป4 อย่างกับเจ้าเอลฟ์ประจำบ้านคนนั้น
This is Kosa. She kept the secret clubhouse tidy and even helped Simon and Gwydion furnish it.
Nice to meet you, Kosa. How did you come to know Simon and his friends?
When Kosa overheard Simon and Gwydion's plans to fix it up, Kosa offered to help. Simon and Gwydion treated Kosa well as friends rather than housekeeper. Kosa has never forgotten their kindness.
Apparently, it's being stored in the Room of Requirement. We just need to find it.
Kosa would fetch it herself, but Kosa is needed in kitchens.
Don't worry, Kosa. Just tell us what to look for and we'll do the rest.
Kosa remembers spotting the clubhouse's multi-purpose table, a matching wooden bench, a floor lamp with a shade, and a stack of old books in that room.
Sounds simple enough. Let's head to the Room of Requirement and get started.
เอาล่ะเราก็มาอยู่ที่ห้องประสงค์แล้วก็หาเฟอร์นิเจอร์4 อย่างที่หายไปมีอะไรบ้างนะ เก้าอี้โต๊ะโคมไฟแล้วก็สมุดหรูหรา4 อย่างนี่ไงเดินตามรอยกระพริบสำร
This
วจ
table might not look like much, but it was often the center of activity in the clubhouse. Simon did some of his best sketching here. Jessamine often sewed on it, and Gwydion even transfigured it into a horse once.
It sounds like it holds a lot of memories. I'm glad we can bring it back where it belongs.
This was Gwydion's favorite seat for revising, though I never understood why. It doesn't look very comfortable.
Then again, perhaps Gwydion just prefers a firm seat.
These belonged to Gwydion. He loved studying old tomes. The dustier the better.
What's your favorite genre of book, Gossamer?
That's easy. The kind with pictures. I love the warm glow this lamp gives off. It reminds me of all the late nights I spent chatting with Simon.
That sounds lovely.
Indeed it was. Sadly, I'm not so sure Simon still feels the same.
Uh-oh. Looks like all that moving furniture around has stirred up some trouble.
เราต้องจัดการกับเจ้าหนู3 ตัวนี้ใช่ไหม โดยการใช้การ์ดเหรอ ใช้คาถาขับไล่หนูยักษ์ ใช้คาถาสายควบคุมเพื่อเรียกไม่ให้หนูยักษ์ลมโคมไฟ ไฟไม่ใช่ควบคุมคาถาสายควบคุมมันคืออะไรอ่ะ
Glacius.
ใช้มั่วถูกต้องด้วย แล้วก็หนูก็หนีไปอ๋อมันจะมีแบบนี้ด้วยเหรอเนี่ย
Welcome back. Did they manage to find all 4 pieces of furniture?
Yes. Though it does make me wonder how the furniture ended up there in the first place.
After Simon's tragic accident, Ed Master had all furniture moved there to discourage.
Accident? What accident?
Gossamer didn't know. Simon brewed shrinking solution, but something went wrong. Instead of shrinking the size of mouse, unfortunately, shrunken Simon caught attention of escaped pet Toad. Toad mistook Simon for Fly and ate him.
Oh, what a way to go.
When you said it was a tragic accident, you weren't joking.
But potions was Simon's best subject. He'd never make a mistake like that.
Course I had a hard time believing too, but Simon said so himself.
I just can't believe it. And why did he need a shrinking solution in the first place? That's it. I have to talk to him.
Hold on, Gossamer. I don't think it's a good idea to ambush him. His death is clearly a sore subject for him.
That's right. You're liable to turn him away even more if you bombard him with questions about it. For now, why don't we focus on getting this furniture back to the clubhouse and figure out where to go from there?
หลังจากกลับมาที่ห้องนี้เราก็ต้องเอาเฟอร์นิเจอร์ที่4 ชิ้นที่ได้มานะเรียงใช่ไหม ได้เลย อันนี้เป็นโคมไฟ ตั้งไหนดีนะ ตั้งนี้ละกัน ต่อไปก็จะเป็นโต๊ะเก้าอี้ต้องอยู่ใกล้กันโอเคหนังสือตั้งบนโต๊ะตรงนี้ละกัน เรียบร้อย
Well, what do you think, Gossamer? Is it just like you remembered?
No, but I actually like that about it. A little bit of old, a little bit of new. I think it's what the gang would want. From now on, feel free to decorate the space however you'd like.
เควสเสร็จแล้วก็จบคลิปไว้เพียงเท่านี้นะคะ แล้วก็เจอกันใหม่คลิปหน้า บ๊ายบาย สวัสดีค่ะ see you next goodbye